Going to take a look here at the 2015 AP Micro FRQ number 2. Share my screen. Here it is. Scroll down. Question number 2. Okay, so there's a whole paragraph here. Breadbasket and Quick Lunch are the only two sandwich shops serving a small town. Each shop can choose either a high price or a low price for their sandwiches. And then the payoff matrix is below, right? Showing the daily profits depending upon who chooses to go high and who chooses to go low. So this is a, I'm going to scroll down here, classic oligopoly payoff matrix type problem here. And sure enough, we look here at part A. We're going to see, we're going to figure out, okay, who has a dominant strategy. So for each firm. So let's go through, I think, I'm going to actually do red here. So this is actually, I deleted this, but this is Quick Lunch up here. So I'm going to underline all the prices, the payoffs that correspond to Quick Lunch. And then Breadbasket is over on the right, sorry, the left side of the each box. So what we do, and this is difficult to do if you're taking this on a computer screen, but I always recommend, you know, jot down, just rewrite the payoff matrix real quick. And if you want to, however you do it, you know, you want to draw boxes or underline, you know, whatever makes sense, just to make sure you don't make any sort of easy mistakes here. So we got to figure out the dominant strategy for Breadbasket and both Quick Lunch, right? So let's go through. I'm just going to start at the top here with Quick Lunch. So let's, for the moment, let's assume Breadbasket starts with a high price. So I'm going to look at the two prices, two payoffs in that row for Quick Lunch, right? So 130 is going to be preferable to 110, right? So in that case, their strategy is to go low price. Now let's get rid of that. Now let's set Breadbasket to a low price. And again, look at the payoffs. So $80 here, the high price is actually preferable to the 70 payoff. So we saw Quick Lunch strategy depends upon whatever Breadbasket does, right? So they have up here, no dominant strategy. So that's Quick Lunch. So we're going to say down here is no. No dominant strategy. Now we got to figure out Breadbasket. So let's erase these marks that I made. We're good. Okay, Breadbasket. Now we're going to look and see what they do. So let's assume for the moment that Quick Lunch sets a high price. We're looking now on the left-hand column of the payoffs here, and 120 is going to be preferable to 105, right? They're going to set the low price there. Now we erase this one. Assume Quick Lunch now sets a low price, and now we're looking at this column over here. So 40 or 75 for the payoff. So 75 is going to be better than 40. So we see in this case, Breadbasket is going to have a dominant strategy to go low, right? Whatever, doesn't matter if the other firm, Quick Lunch, goes high or low. In both cases, it's better for Breadbasket to set a low price. So the answer here, yes. And their dominant strategy is going to be a low price. Okay, so that answers question part A. Now let's go to part B. If the two shops do not cooperate in setting prices, what will be the profit for each shop? So this is essentially asking you which box, given what we know, are they going to end up in? So let's think about this. Let's erase this stuff here. So we know, and we also, it was given up at the beginning, that each firm sort of knows the payoff matrix, right? So we know Breadbasket is going to go low price. And Quick Lunch also knows that, right? Because they can obviously look at the payoffs and determine that that's Breadbasket's dominant strategy. So if that's the case, if Breadbasket's going to go low, then what's the best option for Quick Lunch? Well, they can either make 70 if they go low or 80 if they go high, right? So they're going to go for the 80, which is better. So we know we're going to end up in this box right here. So in this question asks about what will the actual numbers be. So you're essentially determining this box, and then you're entering the answer here is to read the numbers, right? So 120 is the payoff for Breadbasket. Quick Lunch is going to be $80. Okay, so let's go to part C now, which is actually going to ask us to redraw some of these payoffs. So I'm going to erase this. Let's just start from scratch there. Okay, so town government is concerned that food prices are too high. It decides to give a daily subsidy of $20 to any shop that chooses to set a low price for its food items. Redraw the payoff matrix under the government subsidy system. Okay, so, and then they, first, this is a multi-part question. First, they're gonna want you to redraw the payoffs. And then secondly, they're gonna ask, okay, would the strategies change essentially, right? Okay, so first off, we gotta figure out what we need to do to this payoff matrix, right? Now, normally I would draw a whole nother one up here. We don't have to change too many things. So I'm just gonna kind of scratch out some numbers and add some other ones. So we only need to change numbers. Firms would only get the subsidy if they go low, right? So in this case up here, we don't have to change any of these because both firms are going high. Now on this one over here, we need to change this because the second firm went low, right? So this would actually be 150. They're going to get the $20 subsidy from the local government. Over here, we have Breadbasket. They're going low, right? So we scratch that one out. They get the subsidy, but the other firm is going high. Now, in this case, they both are going low, right? So they're both going to get the subsidy there. So we have 95 and then 90. Okay, so we've taken care of this part here. Redraw the payoff matrix with the subsidy. So now we want to go question part one here. Would Quick Lunch choose to set a high price or a low price? Explain using specific values from your redrawn matrix. Okay, so Quick Lunch is up here, right? So now we have a different payoff scenario, right? So, you know, we know Breadbasket was down here, right? So they're looking at these two numbers, right? High price was 80. Before the subsidy, it was preferable to the $70 payoff here. Now it's changed, right? Because of the subsidy. So instead of the $80 payoff they're looking at, now they're actually looking at 90. So in this case, the strategy has changed, right? So 90 is better than 80. So they're going to change their strategy to the low price. And, you know, this part using specific values, you know, because the $90 payoff is going to be preferable to the $80 payoff, right? So it pays to change strategies here. So the government subsidy worked in that case. Okay. Now the question is, would the profits for Breadbasket increase, decrease, or stay the same? Explain with a comparison to your answer in part B1, right? So pay attention to this, right? They want you to compare to this number here. Initially, we figured out what the payoffs were going to be for each firm. So Breadbasket initially, the profit was 120. Now they want us to compare or tell us what would happen to the payoffs for Breadbasket now with the subsidies in place. So we said for sure Breadbasket had the dominant strategy of the low price. So we were going to be down here in one of these boxes, and we just did part one here where Quick Lunch was going to change, right? They were going to go low as well. So now all of a sudden we've changed from that lower left-hand box to this lower right-hand box in terms of payouts, right? Initially, Breadbasket was making $120 profit. Now, since they're down in this box, their profit is $95. So that is a decrease in profit for Breadbasket. And you should, when they say use specific values, you say something like, well, the profit went from $120 to $95.